could have been sitting in the office. I could have been in my office at Georgia Pacific. I could have thought, again, that is beating it to the point that I don't know. I mean, it could have been in a restaurant. Sometimes I get text messages. I'll tell you, if I pick this phone right now, I've got 4 text messages right now, and then I look at them, and I'll eventually say, okay, I'm gonna look at them, and then I'll go back and look, and then sometimes, and I'm guilty as bad as saying I don't even check my voicemail on my phones. So, do I look at it? And again, if I would say it was so long ago, I would think it was back during the summer or the fall, early.
Now, you didn't take the picture, did you?
I can promise you at 100% accuracy. Swear to God on my daddy's grave and on that Bible that you'd bring out that I did not take that picture. I did not take it. I'm going to tell you this. 2 things that I live my life on is respect and integrity. You can go back and look at the paperwork and the newspaper clippings. There's been some council people that I just basically didn't have lost respect for. But I still respected them enough because they were elected by the citizens of Port Wentworth. And so I worked with them.
Well,
I will tell you for positively.
Mr. Mayor, you said that if that was your wife, would you want someone to tell who had done it?
I would find out. No one would have to tell me. I would find out.
Well, now that you know,
I might not be the mayor, but I would find out.
So you know who sent you the picture?
Nope.
You don't know who sent you the picture?
I'm not positively for certain. Again, you're not going to get a name out of me.
But you know who sent you the picture. It's not going to tell us. Is what it boils down to.
I'm almost 99.9%.
You know who sent you the picture. It's not going to tell us.
So then that would be who sent it. You just don't want it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to implicate anybody because you're going to do it for them. And as much as I want to help anyone, I'm also to the point is I'm only a part-time mayor, and I'll be willing to help Debbie. And I'm going to tell you what, when Debbie does what she's going to do, and when y'all finish y'all investigation, I hope she can have some relief. Because you're going to probably see, I'm still debating whether I'm going to send my very first letter to the editor Monday morning to cover myself, exactly what I'm doing for you now, because that jackass Hawks, what he wrote about me.
I'll read the paper. So
I know. Well, I try not to. Matter of fact, to be honest with you, when I was happening at work and somebody walked up to me and said, "Oh, your name's on it," I can't chill because this is an embarrassment to Port Wentworth. Councilman Garden City walked up to me this morning at breakfast. He said, "Man, I'm glad it's y'all and not us." I said, "Shit."
Well, Mr. Mayor, if it's an embarrassment, don't you think you might want to help us out by resolving the issue to clear you?
Let me ask you this. Has anyone else told you that? Has anyone else called your name? And I know you've already interviewed 3 or 4 or 5 people. No one has told you the name, right?
No.
Exactly.
But see, and that right there is a perfect point for the man in charge to step up and be the one to say, I'm in charge of this city. The city is mine. I'm the one that's going to say, look, I know where it came from. This is the person that did it. My city is not going to be ridiculed. I'm not going to be ridiculed. This guy's an idiot. Now it's squashed. I want things done. This is a good town. We're a town of good people. It needs to be over and done with. We need to move on as a council, as a town, as a community, and this needs to be done.
And we're going to move forward with that. We're going to move forward.
Not anytime soon.
But this would be a good time to mend fences with people that you have issues with.
Look here, I could, and this is exactly what I tell you. And that's why I chose to speak to you without my family attorneys, because I don't have nothing to hide. And I've already talked to them. I actually called him, but I found out y'all are coming. Y'all lucky y'all caught me today, because I try not to do nothing on Fridays.
I mean, my understanding is this.
But
my understanding is this, honestly, and I hope you don't get mad at me for any of this. My understanding is this. She was covered. There's no crime. She just wants to know who to not turn her back to.
There's a difference. There's a difference in it not being a crime, because that stupid rule that the legislator made about whether you call it upskirting or not, which I think is a stupid law in itself, and I'm sure that's getting ready to get changed in the next legislation comes back. I would hope.
But she wants to know who not to turn her back to. So it's not a matter of
and then let me say this then. let me go back, because here's the thing. If I wanted to get in the middle of it, now it's my job.
Well, Mr. Mayor, you're in the middle of it. You're the top dog.
And
I have started.
You actually have an opportunity not to be in the middle of it, and you have the opportunity to be the spearhead of.
Let me also tell you this. Let me tell you also that you're exactly right, and I will give you this. If you want to come back and talk to me later, set up another appointment. Let me talk to some people and see where we're at on this, because I will tell you this. I honest to gosh, and you just don't know how much I feel for her because of her family. Now, all the political stuff, hey, when you get into politics, then people bashing Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, I probably decide I ain't gonna vote, because I ain't probably won't vote for neither one of them. They both say stupid stuff. So it goes from the presidential elections always down to the city of Port Wentworth. But at the same time, in lower politics, like in Savannah, you got council people who were friends before the change of command. I got along with Edna very well. Eddie Deloach is one of my very good friends. Both of them would have been good mayors. But now, because of all of that, you got council people who used to be friends, they don't talk to each other now. And I know that for a fact because I've talked to them. That being said, so it goes over here to us. I have council people who I respect, but Debbie, and she will admit it, that we've had our differences. She wanted me out of office. She supported the person who ran against me for office. It was known she was. I'm not going to do anything different or say anything bad about her because she did, because that's the way my integrity is. But at the same time, the person who I believe took this picture, I've been knowing that person. And y'all ain't stupid. This ain't your first rodeo in an investigation. I know everybody in that room, whether it was a workshop or whether it was a executive session. And when people are in there, because I've been married to the city for 11 years. Some of them been in that room or been my good friends. Some of them been in that room, not so good. But I've respected every one of them. So with that being said, I'm not going to, because I can't win if I start getting in and dividing. Now, it's your job to do what y'all going to do, and I hope you do it well. It's my job to bring in my facilitator, who is I won't say a Baptist preacher, he's a preacher, works for Carl Vincent Institute, which does facilitating work for GMA, Georgia Municipal Association. We did that, he did that. When I saw the way the elections went, I brought this guy in. He just happened to be a preacher, didn't know he was a preacher at the time. And we had a lot of mending fences. And so I'm bringing him back. Now, this is a start, because right now I got a divided council.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, Mr. Mayor. You say that you got a divided council. Mm-hmm. So you're the head of everything. Mm-hmm. You are the type of person that take care of your employees. You make sure that they're okay. You're not leaving anybody out and hanging. Mm-hmm. Don't drop them off.
My employees.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, with you being the head of city council, that means that everybody else is under you.
Now, hold on. I'm not the head of city council. I'm the mayor of the city of Port Wentworth. You got 6 council people who were elected by their constituents. You got 2 that were elected by the whole city. You got 4 that only got elected by their district. When we go out there, I'm one of 7. I only vote if there's a tie. And even when this division that has happened because of elections or whatever, we've not really had any tiebreaker, so to speak, because I think for the most part, when you get on this side of the aisle, you vote for what's the best for the city of Port Wentworth, whether you like someone personally or not. So that being said, I'm going to take care of our employees, and if we have something that I need to go to, but each one of these 6 people that sit below me, even my mayor pro tem, who's been with me my whole 11 years, everybody thinks that me and him are, and we are. I mean, we're friends. We used to go to church together, but we don't anymore there, and we're friends. But we've disagreed on several occasions.
Okay, so.
And that being said, when someone goes out and gets mad or attacks someone and took that picture, it was distasteful then, it's distasteful now, but why? You asked me if I talked to him. I plan on not.
Okay, but I think what he's getting at is the division because of the picture. Do you think now with that picture being in the public's eye, is it creating more division amongst your council with all the speculation and rumor or less division?
Oh, well, you could only guess that.
More, correct?
Right.
So
and
if everyone knows he did it,
it's part of my
but
job.
if everyone knows he did it,
It's
then
part
there's
of my
less division.
It's part of my job to start that, to bring in a facilitator to do it, because I'm not the professional of that.
Anyway, and then everyone's going
I
to
am not a. I'm not a win-win. Look here. And I'm not saying that I won't. I'm not ready to now.
Well, let me ask you something.
But I will tell you this: it's not. I am. I don't. I can't win. If you see what I'm saying, I could either. I could. And I know you will. So I'm not stupid. If that is, it's going to come out. But and then Debbie's not going to care for me either more one way or another. Whether I mean, if I go out and name, you think Debbie Johnson or Tom or anyone who's mad at me are going to feel any different about me? Because they've already think
They could have a sense of respect that you are.
I've already
regardless.
did my investigating too, and I can put my people out there, and people don't even know that I'm getting the questions asked for me about other people trying to find out. And then the person who took the picture, if I'm accurate in that statement, I've talked to people who, you're not going to say nothing, are you? I said, why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I? But so you see what I'm saying? I have a lot of people who are asking me right now. The only person that I've talked to, I'll take that back. I have talked to a few people. One person I mentioned to earlier in the conversation that I talked to, political wise, that's helping me some. Because we share a friendship together, and my wife, because the person who did this is
did this hasn't took the picture. Did this and put it on Facebook.
Well, the guy put it on Facebook. You know what?
Or did this hasn't gave it to the person who put it on Facebook.
Yeah, the guy on the Facebook. I have no. Look here.
But see, there's several people involved. So when we say "did this," it's a real broad spectrum.
It's true.
Did this as
the Facebook page? Look here.
Did this as in the person that gave it?
Let's say the Facebook part. Facebook will never happen unless how he got the picture. Now I don't even know how he got the picture.
Right. There's a guy who gave it. There's a person who gave it to the guy who put it on Facebook. There's a guy who put it on Facebook, and there's a person that took the picture. Mm-hmm. So we say
So it could be three. Could be three different people, right?
Right. Did this is a real broad spectrum.
And you're exactly right. So I don't know. Now Mr. Steely is the least of my worries.
Right. Everyone knows he put it on Facebook.
Yeah. He and if I'm not so certain that I would go out and say he's a friend. Anyway, he's an acquaintance. He's a constituent of mine. It's also at the same time you tell me that he is, I guess, quote, a supporter of mine. That I have a lot of people out there, and I will tell you this: my second election, my second time I was running, Fred had a gentleman who I knew pretty good who had moved in from Michigan who lived up in Rice Hope. They convinced him to run for mayor. I was kind of surprised he did. So I had to go out and defeat him, and I did my political ways with my integrity and tactfulness. I had a lot of people out here in the old part of town knew that Fred was behind all of this. They went after Fred and this gentleman pretty hard. So when you go out and you tell these people, and then I had Fred and his people come to tell me, I need to go tell all them people to stop. Well, guess what, Mr. Williams? If you had not had someone run against me, I wouldn't have nobody doing that. So you don't go tell your supporters, just like Clinton and Trump, they may not agree with what all your supporters are doing, but they're not going to tell their supporters to quit. So I'm not going to tell my supporters to do whatever they do. If this guy right here, this Steely, he's got the word because he's seen it in the press. It was on all 3 TV stations with my quote and my comment. And I was not going to comment much because I knew that we had that she had made a formal complaint. But you saw my quote that was put up there that basically said that I thought it was, and I'm not sure how I said it, but I opened up with that it was horrendous or whatever word I used as far as the picture wise, and I said no one should be subject to this, and then Ms. Johnson's got a complaint, and I know the proper authorities will be handling this quickly.
Well, I got 3 questions to ask you. 1, do you think the picture was taken in a session, in a closed session between you and them? Between you and the council? Or do you know for a fact that it was taken during that time?
I don't know for a fact. I could not pinpoint it down. Now,
you think it was taken during an executive session?
I do not know that for a fact. I would know. And I'll preface this by saying that executive session or workshop, we sit in the front, and I can easily go show you. And the people, if it's a workshop, the people are in that are welcome, you and everybody else, the press, they tend to sit farther back. So workshop or executive session, council would sit in the front.
Okay.
Positively, not positively sure. And she and Miss Johnson tends, for the most part, to sit in that same seating area where she normally sits.
So, under the premonition, Ms. Johnson says it happened during a executive session because of the tape. Now, with that being known, so then, under that premise, we can say that it was taken by somebody on the council, right? Or somebody within that room had to take the picture. Would it have been somebody on the council, you think, or somebody not on the council?
If it was an executive session, it had to be one of 5 people.
Okay.
Well, no, excuse me.
Well, with you knowing who sent the picture, was that person on the council at that time that sent you the picture?
Next question.
You don't want to answer that one? I'm asking, you don't want to answer it? Or? Okay. And the third and final question is, when you got the picture, did you think that it was hilarious? You said, because I remember you said in this setting it would have been something hilarious, but after time you look at it and you think, you know what, that is not.
When you see somebody sends a picture to you, you think, oh my, well, 2 things. First place, and I have since asked my wife and my daughter, do women not wear underwear with their dresses? Maybe I'm stupid or blind, and I've been out there in the party atmosphere or whatever, and she said, they say that's not uncommon. Not one time, I said, not one time did hilarious. Now, what I meant by, and I'll do it, glad you brought that question up, because I preface a little bit later when I said, if you go on the internet and you look at one of these celebrity gossip sites and you see something of a picture of a thing of a person that you know, everybody knows that's an actor or a singer or whatever they want, and you look at it and says, oh my gosh, and then you just scroll on down. Well, when I saw it, I basically said the same thing. I thought, oh my gosh, and didn't really think a lot of it. I'm thinking, why do you not have underwear on, or why do you have your legs spread? Or my mind thought a lot of things.
So why would you
assume? And then when I consumed it all and kind of thought through the process and looked at it, I said, you know what? This is vulgar. It's disgusting. And my wife said, delete that. I said, no, because let me tell you what. I don't know if this is going to get out. Because politics are ugly in this town. There's no doubt about this. This ain't nothing to what politics gets like around this town.
So how long did you hold on to the picture?
I'm not quite sure about that. I really don't know. I delete them. Like I say, I told you, I can go on there. I have millions of texts right now. It adds up. And I go on there every couple of months, whether I'm sitting in my work in my office, whether I'm in here, whether I'm watching a ball game. I'll start going through them. And I'll say something like, this is going away.
Well, I have another.
Now, when someone asks me, Mr. Mayor, why didn't you call Debbie up and say, you know what? Because it's better to let it be gone away. Is that right? Hindsight's 20/20. Is it going away? Maybe not. I will tell you, and again, like I said, Ms. Johnson, you're going to find out. And I'm not so sure. You might come back to me in 2 weeks and I might tell you. I didn't know you was coming to me today. Because I'm perturbed at it. I'm aggravated with it. But I've also got a lot of friends who, quite frankly, and Debbie understands this, it's a political part of the world, that don't like her, who are my supporters. I don't terribly agree how that works, but it ain't a damn city, small city in America don't go through that. So I chose to say that if y'all come and talk to me, I'll talk to you in general terms, but I am not going to get involved to the point, because if I go out and say, okay, yeah, the mayor was went and told everybody whatever, because yes, I've helped Debbie out, but then I've lost 250 friends, and I might not be the mayor next month, next week, next year.
I say next month, next week, you still will be.
No, not if I quit. Because this right here, let me tell you what, my wife wants me to quit now. This how bad this aggravating bullshit has gotten. My wife will tell you, I tell people now, people ask me now, are you going to run for mayor next year? I said, my wife will tell you I'm not. Because I'm telling you, this right here is about, I went through this fiasco with Mr. Hogan. And if y'all go back and do the homework on that we had to get him off council or whatever. I went through the stuff with this guy, Mike Howard, who he resigned because undoubtedly, the rumor was that he got chased back up to New York. I went through a bunch of crap with this city. I went through Major Sheriff's dealing with some kind of girlfriend and everything you can imagine. Everything you can imagine, I went through, and I get hit hard. I get slandered, I get whatever. This same gentleman, Mr. Hawks, true story. I walked in here on a Friday morning. Miss Jordan said, Mr. Mayor, you must not read your emails today. I said, what do you mean? I said, well, Mr. Hawks sent you a pretty ugly email. And I said, well, show it to me. No, Mr. Mayor, you don't. Miriam, pull up my email. She pulled up my email. He basically says, I wonder what the Baptist church is going to think. Now, mind you, my wife teaches the Sunday school kids at our church. My wife owns a daycare. I wonder what the Baptist church is going to think when they find out the mayor exposed himself in front of his daycare, and I have proof. That's a blatant lie. I stormed out this door, jumped in my truck, and headed to Pine Forest. I was going to pull his ass out and kick his ass. Matt Libby, who was captain at the time, Chief Melvin, my wife, Miriam, everybody was calling me. I wouldn't answer the phone. I got to about 95, headed to Pine Forest, where he lives, and I thought to myself, if I go in there and beat his ass, I've got to resign from mayor, and then my own police department was going to arrest me. I pulled up to Pine Forest. They wasn't taking no chances. They had a police car blocking Pine Forest to at least let me think about it. Because they told me that if I go in there, we're going to have to arrest you. I then made up my mind. I've never responded to that son of a bitch since. And he has slandered me, and he has slandered me, and he slandered me. My sisters will tell you that who live in this city, they hope I don't run for mayor again, but I'm a strong person. But I have a lot of friends, and I know how this political my grandfather and my father and my mother were council people. We have been hit so hard, and people slander me all the time. So I choose to take the high road, and I will respect you for the job you do as council, but I hope at the end, people have to take accountability for what they do.
Well, let me ask you this right here. You said that above everything else, you're an honorable person, a Christian, right?
Yes.
So which one is more important? Being honorable to do the right thing and tell us who done it, or keep your friends?
It's a tough question.
It is, and it is, and it is a very tough question because sometimes it can be hard to choose between the two.
Depends on how strong your faith is being a true Christian.
It's kind of a tough question to ask that, without knowing me.
No, I'm asking you the question.
Exactly.
Is it more honorable? You said being honorable is more important.
Let me tell you,
or is it having
honorable,
friends?
and it's honorable. My job is to, because let me tell you this: if I go call out your name, if I go call out his name or call out the person who I think, it would be with not 100% certainty. And if I went and then that person found out that, and which I would, at the end of the day, don't care. But if I went to court and then a lawyer says, "Are you 100% sure?" And I would say no. And then you'd have to have proof. So,
Not if you tell them that it was.
I would say,
not if you were unsure,
say,
and this is your personal belief. Your personal belief.
My personal belief might not mean hill of squat to anyone.
It would to us.
Exactly. And you're going to find out. And I know you will.
How do you think that?
And I'm going to tell Sheriff Wiltshire, y'all done a great job in here today.
I'm not worried about that.
I know you're not, but I will tell him anyway. 'Cause I got a lot of, matter of fact, I'm getting ready to call one of your buddies here in just a little while about football.
Kevin Street, Michael Street.
Michael Street. I ain't talking to Kevin Street. He done moved, ain't he? Me and Michael are very close friends.
You referee little kids football?
Not much.
I'm
Not much.
I'm looking forward to beating your team again this season.
Who you coach?
Huh? Sharks?
Do you really? Is that no, that's not, that's the Island group right there. See, that's why I don't do Little League football most of the time. I'm usually out there watching my kids. I could be making that 50 or $100, $150 they make the street, and then make street stays over at BC most of the time, I believe. Guys, look, yeah, you're right. And I might call you up. Lend me your card. I might call you up. This is beating me to death. Do I honorable? Yeah, I'm already working to fix this because my people. I've already set up a meeting. I wish I've known. I wish really, honestly, I was this close to walking off and saying, "Y'all can't find me today," and I was gonna go make a phone call and talk to the people who have been trying to help me do some of this. And I'm going to talk to this person. Hopefully I can find them this weekend. And talk, because this is going too far. Debbie Johnson might not never speak to me again. I hope she does, because she's got another year of council. If I choose to run for mayor, I might be divorced if I run for mayor. I will treat her with professionalism to the nth degree. Not because of this, because that's how I am. But at the same time, you have got to understand, and again, this ain't your first rodeo or first investigation, you've got to understand that I have been working to do this. And I have been waiting on this moment for y'all to go through the whole factual gram and do your investigative work that you've been trained so well to do. But you've got to understand that I don't want to be a part of getting involved with it when I know for a fact, 100% damn sure factual, that I did not take it. I did not send it to Mr. Steele, because I never would. I would not do that to my worst enemy. If I wanted to get ugly, I could broadcast over or thought of it because it's wrong. That was wrong. That crossed the line. Basically, and I got a little sentimental with that thing with Hawksville because I've been slandered a whole bunch. And all the slanderisms I've been hit with is not near as bad as what happened to that lady right there. And I'm not even so sure how many people really saw the picture in the first place, because I tried to go and look to see, and I do remember months back, I was thinking, since I didn't get the questions asked of me, I wonder how many people was really on that page. So how many people really saw it, which quite frankly, if one person saw it in the public, what I would really hope, and what hurts me the most, is because I have a daughter, I have a son, and I have 5 grandkids. And if my grandkids would have seen that picture of their grandmother, I promise you, Bo, I wouldn't be the mayor today. because I wouldn't be waiting on y'all. Now, Michael Street might have me locked up down there because I'd have found out that she's got more willpower to allow the right sources to find out. And I went and told Matt early on. I said, Matt, y'all don't need to be doing this. This either needs to be a GBI thing or whoever. I'm not the professionalism police. I don't know if you go to the GBI or go to, but they chose y'all, and I don't know the difference between y'all doing it and GBI doing it. I really don't know. But I have, it's not honorable. Yes, am I weak on this one? For the first time in my life, as mayor of this city, I can probably tell you I'm a little weak-minded on it because I've decided that I hope the powers that be, you get involved and do it. Do I put my head on the pillow and just wish it would go away? Yes. But the person who did it, and let me just ask you hypothetically, just stop just for a minute. When you find out who did it, whether it's from me or someone, and only because I, as hard as it might seem, I do care that for her. Where does this go?
That's not our. We're only fact finders.
Mm-hmm.
Our job is to find out the facts, find out what happened, turn it over. It will be presented back to. I will present it to my commander,
Mm-hmm.
which is Major Billy Freeman,
Yep.
and they'll decide and to turn it over to you or do whatever happens. We're only here to find out the facts about what happened and to get the information and
Because
put
a
it
lot
together.
of times I go outside the box and talk to. I have not called them, so but I'm sure maybe y'all may or not know Chris Henson and Daniel Flood for the Savannah PD.
Yeah.
They're very close friends of mine, and I've been as well as Michael and as well as other police in Pooler and Garden City. And I have yet, but I've been asking that question because you hear people say, well, even when it all is, there ain't nothing she can file a sexual harassment lawsuit or she can file a racist, whatever, in life. So if she does, quite frankly, I wouldn't blame her if she did.
No, we have no
I
control.
would probably
over
say
that.
I wouldn't
We
want to
know.
encourage her to do it because you don't ever want to see that thing because this city was blasted enough and it's an embarrassment. I told the group down there today, a lot of them, I said it's an embarrassment. This is probably the most embarrassed I've seen in my city in a long time over this one little thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
Mr. Mayor, you have the opportunity now to put your city back in great standing.
Mm-hmm.
And you may not know who took the picture,
no,
but you
you're
can tell
wrong
me
on
who
that about
sent
great
you the
standing.
picture.
Because, again,
But I mean, we actually
let's turn the other foot because I did back in my college days, part of my life was wanting to sit in your shoes.
That would have been a mistake. You make better money where you're at. But
here again-
honestly, here's really this is my whole thought about it because you're talking about the black eye on the city, the threat of lawsuit and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
You're the top dog of the city, not Matt Libby, not your fire chief, not anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You're the man. Not anybody else is the council,
Mm-hmm.
not your city manager. You're the elected top dog of the city.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it comes out today, tomorrow, 2 months, or 2 years from now,
Mm-hmm.
who took this photograph and how it got to him,
Mm-hmm.
if it doesn't come from you and it's known that you knew where the picture came from or who sent it to you,
But I'm not, see,
is it going to be worse for the city and there's going to be worse liability on the city if the top dog of the city held on to it and squashed it, or is it going to be better for the city if the top dog says,
Because
you
you're
know
not
what,
go-
officer, I know.
but see, you're
Here's
turning
who it
that
is."
to me because you're not going to allow that because I know y'all both good at your jobs and you're going to find out. And it's just,
How? What everyone else says we're not going to tell.
And-
The thing is this though,
and,
even if
and
we
see,
find out, but
y'all,
here's the thing.
and see, because
But
I'm pretty
again-
good at this, y'all know who did it.
I have no clue.
Yeah, y'all know who did it,
Got no
and
clue.
I think and you want someone again,
But again,
and only
even if
because
we
at
do
the end of the
find
day,
out-
let me tell you, at the end of the day, I was counseled not to.
Okay, But again, even if we do find out, you're the
Well,
top
I mean-
dog of this city, and you're talking about civil liability. You're the top dog of this city.
And if,
you're
a
talking
li-
about civil
and,
liability.
if that liability
if
goes,
it comes out that you knew and didn't cooperate, is it going to be worse for the city or better?
but
That's what you have to ask yourself, and,
exactly.
and then ask the person that counseled you that,
Mhm.
and then get back with us.
Okay.
I mean, that's all. I'm
And
saying.
then who counseled you on that? Was it an attorney? Was it friend?
Was it the guy in the ballpark that you coach with? Was it
Y'all
mean-
can figure that out. I ain't gonna go ask Tom and Dick and Harry.
Well,
Well,
we're
you
not.
never
We're
know
asking because we don't
because
know.
you never know, because some people,
Let me tell you, I ain't stupid either.
But I mean, honestly,
I go get professional advice.
But that's how I look at it. I mean, you're the top dog of the city, and if it does come out, where the picture came from, and it does come out that you knew, and what's worse for the city, that the top dog of the city knew and decided to say, the hell with it, I'm not going to cooperate, or the top dog of the city knew and said, yes, I'm going to cooperate, and here's where it came from.
Because, or you say something like this, it's how does it look? And like he says, you've received the picture, you've seen the picture. It's been a while. You knew the picture existed. You knew it was out there, but yet you never said anything. Now it's become a scandal or an issue for everybody.
It only become a scandal or an issue when it made the Facebook page.
Correct.
And that's where it got to be sick. It got to be when, and I can think back.
Well, no.
Wait a minute.
It got to be sick. It got to be sick to anyone who viewed it and found it offensive. Because you said yourself when you first viewed it,
if you saw
found it
that
offensive.
You saw the picture.
No,
if
I
you
have
saw,
not.
How are y'all investigating?
I saw the
scene?
picture,
You
I
saw
know.
the picture.
I know.
That's not offensive to you.
Offensive in what demeanor?
I mean, you saw that picture. If
I think
you think that was, you think, and even if you didn't know the person,
you asking me what I think when I saw the picture. What
Yeah.
I think what I saw the picture was the person that took it was a coward, and they were a coward because one, they took the picture. Secondly, they weren't even man enough to even put the picture out themselves or tell somebody. They had to actually shovel it off to somebody else because they were too much of a coward to even do it themselves. So they gave it to somebody else to have it done. To me, that was a blatant cowardly act by someone who is a coward and who does not have any respect for women.
and I would say the same thing.
That's my personal opinion.
I would say the same thing. Let me get back with you. Because, again, we want the right thing done.
I think we all agree on that. I think you want the right thing done.
But when you have the way it is, yeah. Can I go out and?
I get it, Mr. Mayor. You're torn. You're kind of in a 50-50 win, a lose-lose situation. You're going to lose one way or the other.
Or
And that's
better reference, you between second and third, shortstop's got the ball and third baseman's 2 feet from you.
You're
Right?
exactly right. You're exactly right.
You're
Yes,
not-
and then this has been beating me up to death, and it's yeah, it is.
We all understand. I mean, honestly, we all do. But honestly, and you mentioned it. You're the one that mentioned the black eye on the city. You're the one that mentioned the liability and everything else. And what I'm presenting to you is whoever you talked to today that advised you not to say. What I'm telling you is just take back to them what I said to you. And you said yourself it's going to come out, but it's documented that you know. It is. It's documented that you know. We spoke today. It's documented that you know. Is it going to look worse or better for the city? The fact that it's documented that you know, and it took another 2 weeks for someone else to say it, or maybe no one else says it. It takes 2, 3 months, 6 months for someone else to finally man up, or for some other way for it to be swindled out, or for phone records to be subpoenaed, whatever the case is. What if no one ever says it, and your phone records or someone else have to be subpoenaed for it to come out? How horrible is that going to be for the top dog not to have come forward? I mean, it's going to look a lot worse, not just for you personally, but for the city. You know, and just take that to the person who brought that to you, you know, and just present it to them that way. What's going to look worse, you know, for you and especially for the city as a whole, you know, and I know you got someone that's going to try to help calm the strife between the council, but it's not going to work. Not just with her, because she's not going to trust any of them, but there's still going to be infighting, because even though 2 people on the council might know who did it, the other 4 are still going to be wondering, you know, who's the dirty bastard around,
or who's next, or am I next?
You know, maybe not with an up the skirt photo, but with, you know, some type of, you know, backstabbing. So, and there's definitely a lot to it. I mean, you know the political game better than either one of us. I'm not trying to teach you that, because you know it better than either one of us do. But
very well.
You know, it's just, that's all I'm saying. You know?
And in the end, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to just leave with you. I'd like for you to tell me who it was. I really would. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to play around with it. But in the end,
leave me your card.
And in the end, I'd just like to say that, you know, I know you're in between a rock and a hard place. Maybe you're between 2 rocks and there's even no soft place between them. However, just remember, you are a Christian man. And I know you want what's right to be done. I know that. I can tell that. I can tell by the way your sentiment you're saying. And I would hope that you would go home and at least think about it and give us a call and let us know something, you know, let us know who at least sent the picture. We'd like to know who sent the picture so we can talk to them. And that's the only thing I leave with you. Is there anything else you'd like to say? This concludes this interview.